just to read it into the record, Mayor, because it's important that the record reflects a statement by the Chief of Police who worked with Robert on this ordinance, and he recommends the ordinance, and he couldn't be here this evening, so he would like this statement to be read as part of the record. So if we have to look back and identify whether or not there was an endorsement by the head of public safety, there is. And the statement is as follows. As Chief of Police and head of public safety in Hanover Township, I'm advising the Township Committee that the ordinance before you this evening is one which will support the health, welfare, and safety of the residents of our community. I say this for several reasons. Our police department is prepared 24 hours, 7 days a week to respond to calls of residents and visitors at hotels, shopping centers, homes, and on the roadways within the township. However, there are certain locations, although not common to Hanover, but they have repeated responses and require repeated police visits to address serious public safety concerns such as crime, drugs, violence, illegal weapons, and domestic disputes. Although these calls are not part of the police department's day-to-day regular calls, there are still a few locations where these calls are persistent and where preventative security measures should be but are not being provided. This leaves Hanover Township in the position to constantly police these locations. These locations require additional demands on the police department and threatens the department's ability to make decisions regarding other preventative or public safety responsibilities. If we were to apply this ordinance to the township police calls over the last year, there is a possibility that 2 locations would be affected. Over the past year, these 2 locations would have had the requisite number of calls in this proposed ordinance to the police department to have resulted in additional charges or assessments. These additional charges provided in this ordinance would serve 2 purposes. First, it would encourage property owners to undertake appropriate public safety precautions and measures to protect the general public, as well as law enforcement and first responders of the township who have been injured in these places as a result of the repeated dangerous calls. Second, it would appropriately place the financial responsibility and the cost that Hanover Township and its taxpayers are incurring to provide these public safety measures on a repeated basis. The law already provides that businesses, schools, contractors, or utilities that have special events or projects pay for necessary law enforcement services. In this case, repeated incidents and calls at certain properties are placing extraordinary demands on the police department and also deserve the financial support of the property owner. Statistically, in Hanover Township, as mentioned, from January of 2017 through today, the police department was involved in the following number of incidents: 288 possession of controlled dangerous substances arrests, 171 domestic violence incidents, 19 aggravated assault incidents, 92 simple assault incidents. 2 properties in Hanover Township accounted for approximately 12% of all these incidents. The township and its taxpayers should not support establishments that fail to provide adequate security and protection and place a drain on the first responders instead of establishing proactive security and safety measures. This ordinance will not in any way cause or create a financial obligation for those establishments, residents, or incidents that we routinely address. This ordinance concerns the repeat offender, and in this case, it is these property owners who are jeopardizing the health, safety, and welfare of the general public and our first responders, who want the township to be more than just a responder, but a security provider. It is these establishments that are addressed in this ordinance, and I would request that the mayor and township committee consider the adoption and enactment of this ordinance. Chief Ryan.
Thank you, Fred.